Have you ever bought a shirt from H&M or Zara for just $10 and thought, wow, what a steal? What if I told you that shirt might have cost someone across the world their health, their safety, and sometimes even their life? Today, we're uncovering the shocking truth behind cheap fashion, and trust me, you'll never look at your wardrobe the same way again. H&M and Zara didn't just change fashion, they changed how we shop. Instead of 4 fashion seasons, they created 52 micro-seasons a year. That means new clothes every single week. Zara can design, manufacture, and ship a new piece in as little as 2 weeks. Sounds impressive, right? But here's the catch. This speed has a hidden cost. The faster the clothes come out, the cheaper they're made, and the heavier the burden falls on the people making them. Most of H&M's and Zara's clothes are produced in countries like Bangladesh, India, and Cambodia, where workers are paid as little as $2 a day. Imagine working 12 to 14 hours in unsafe factories just to earn less than the price of the shirt you're sewing. In 2013, the Rana Plaza collapse in Bangladesh killed over 1,100 workers. These people were sewing clothes for brands like H&M. Cracks had appeared in the building, but workers were forced to go back inside. Hours later, the building crumbled. It became the deadliest garment factory disaster in history. And here's the shocking part. Even after promises of reform, dangerous working conditions still exist. Workers continue to risk their lives just so we can buy cheap jeans and trendy tops. But it's not just people paying the price. Fast fashion is also destroying our planet. Did you know the fashion industry is responsible for 10% of global carbon emissions? More than all international flights and shipping combined? Textile dyeing alone contaminates rivers in countries like Bangladesh and China, turning them toxic. And because clothes are designed to fall apart quickly, mountains of waste pile up. 85% of all textiles end up in landfills or are burned. So here's my question for you. If you had to choose between buying cheap clothes every week or paying a little more for clothes that last longer and don't exploit workers, what would you do? Comment below. I'm really curious to see how many of you would actually make the switch.
Constantly bombarded with media that puts pressure on us to buy newer and trendier clothes, just to throw them away when they're no longer in style. An estimated 93 million tons go to landfill or are burned every year.
And that's roughly about a garbage truckload of textiles every second going to landfill. Every second.
Producing clothes also pollutes our water and churns out CO2. The fast fashion model pioneered by Zara means that brands are churning out double the amount of clothing per year as they did in the early 2000s. But companies say that's about to change because we can now buy eco-friendly fast fashion and also recycle our clothes when we don't want them anymore. But can we believe them? Inditex, Zara's parent company, and H&M Group are 2 of the biggest fashion retailers in the world, and both have collections that claim to reduce the environmental impact of making clothes. Not only that, but the 2 fashion giants say they're making their entire brands more sustainable. Let's take a look at these promises, starting with the materials. Main materials at Zara and H&M, as well as worldwide, are polyester, which accounts for around 52% of total fiber production, and cotton, which is around 24%. PET is a different name for polyester and is the same type of plastic that's found in water bottles. Actually, 60% of PET production goes to textiles and only 30% to water bottles. The material is produced from petroleum, and the process uses lots of energy and releases CO2, as well as acids and ammonia into the water supply. Recycled polyester uses up to 60% less energy than virgin material and can be made from textile scraps or plastic trash. But inconsistencies in the threads can make it require more dye. And experts say that polyester fabrics can shed 700,000 microplastic fibers with every wash, which end up in the ocean and also in our food.
Why does fast fashion keep growing? Because it feeds on our psychology. H&M and Zara convince us that last week's outfit is already outdated. That constant pressure to stay trendy keeps us buying more, even if we don't need it. The result? We treat clothes as disposable. Wear it once, toss it, repeat. The good news? People are waking up. Sustainable brands, secondhand thrifting, and clothing rental services are becoming popular. Some countries are even pushing laws to hold fast fashion giants accountable for labor rights and pollution. And you have the power too. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. Here's another one for you. What's the oldest piece of clothing you still wear, and how long have you had it? Comment down below. Let's see who has the ultimate vintage piece. Before we wrap up, let me tell you a story. In Cambodia, a woman named Shrey worked in a garment factory making clothes for major brands. She earned just $3 a day, barely enough to feed her children. After years of exhaustion, she saved up to buy a second-hand sewing machine. Now she creates her own clothes and sells them in her community. For her, fashion is no longer exploitation, it's empowerment. And that's the kind of change we need more of.
Rather than offering a solution, and how buying from brands like Zara or Primark is creating a false economy. And I want to explain what she means here. When she says clothing poverty is perpetuated by fast fashion, she's talking about how the poor quality of clothing from brands like H&M means that we often have to buy more clothing more frequently. Although when you're shopping at Primark or online at places like Shein, you might be tempted by the low prices available, we're often not thinking about how long that clothing will last and how long it might be until we need to replace it again. Over time, people are actually spending more because they continually have to replace that fast fashion with new items, whether that's because they're stuck in a trend cycle or because that clothing is literally falling off at the seams.
So the next time you see that $10 shirt on the rack, remember, cheap fashion isn't really cheap. Someone, somewhere, is paying the price. If you found this video eye-opening, smash that like button, share this with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden history behind the world we live in. Stay curious, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next one.